Okay, so we're still in Book 1 of the Aeneid. This is starting in line 50. Juno's just been complaining that she has these enemies, and she is one of the most powerful of the gods, but she is not allowed by fate to do anything about it. She's worried that people will not worship her because she's so powerless. So she's just been complaining. So our subject here is still Dea. We're still talking about Juno. So Dea is nominative. And then Wolutans describes Dea. She's a goddess pondering. The NS of Wolutans tells us it's a present active participle. And it's nominative. That's why it goes back to Dea, because she is also nominative. The goddess pondering. So now we're looking for an accusative. What is she pondering? She's pondering Thalia. It's the direct object of Wolutans. Pondering such things. Thalia is neuter plural, and anytime you have an adjective like such, and it's neuter plural, you can always say such things. So if you said magna, magna can mean big things, or parva can mean small things. So sometimes there's not even a noun. It's just an adjective in the neuter to mean things. The goddess pondering such things. Where is she pondering them? Flammato corde. These are both ablative. An ablative of place where, according to the book. In her inflamed heart. And then we still have our secum. She's pondering these things with, and that's the cum. Se is herself. In English we'd say she was thinking about them to herself, but in Latin you always think or ponder with yourself. So we haven't gotten our verb yet, we've just gotten our nominative and then a description of her. The goddess pondering such things with herself in her inflamed heart. We have to go all the way down to Wennet in line 52 to get our verb. She came, and everything in between is where is she coming? Nimborum. Orum is always genitive plural. So that must mean of the clouds. In patriam. Remember that in plus an accusative like patriam means into. She came into. Patria is a country. Into the country. Now we can take our genitive plural. Into the country of the clouds. And we're again describing the country of the clouds. Loca. Loca is a place, and feta describes what kind of place is it. It's a place pregnant, and feta always wants an ablative. You don't just say, oh, she's pregnant. You say she's pregnant with the child or with something. So it's a place pregnant plus ablative, and our next two words are the ablative. Forentibus austris. It's a place pregnant with. Forentibus is like raging, and austris is the name of the south wind. Australia is named after this. It's sort of a southern continent. So yeah, it's just the name of the south wind. So it's pregnant. It's a place pregnant with the raging south wind, which is supposed to be one of the more wild winds. And finally we get the name of the place, Aeolia. She came into the country of the winds, a place pregnant with raging south winds, Aeolia. heek. Heek is an adverb and it means here. And either, if you know that it's heek with a long I, you know that it's here, or if you know that it means here, you know that the I is long. If it means this, like if you said this person, it would be hick with a short I. Heek means here, hick means this. So I went ahead and I put a long mark over that I, because it said it means here. I like to think of like here is a place to sit, and so you put a long mark over the I, like a little seat that you could sit on. Here, wasto is an ablative place where, and it goes all the way over here with antro, in a vast or huge, and an antro is a cave, in a huge cave. Rex Aeolus. Aeolus, obviously, is the guy who lives in Aeolia. He's the king of the winds, which is why he's called Rex. Jupiter gave him the winds to control. Here in a vast cave, King Aeolus, Tantes ventos tempestates que sonoras. Let's take this first before we get to our verb. In your book it has is instead of ace. These are commonly used, both of them. Is is an older form of ace. It's kind of like people who spell color with a U. Well, it's the British way, so it's an older way. It's not the wrong way. It's kind of poetic because it makes you think of olden times. So you may see is instead of ace. It's still going to be accusative, plural, for the third declension. And because it's accusative plural, it goes well with ventos, which is also accusative plural, second declension. Tantes means wrestling. So just like volutans in line 50, Tantes is a present active participle. Volutans in 50 ends with an NS because it's nominative. But if it's not nominative, what you're going to see is this NT in the middle and then an ending. So they're sometimes harder to see because you have to get past your ending first. But that NT is the thing that tells us. You can remember NT is the end of present. So it's a present active participle, and you always translate them ing, right? So this is wrestling. Wrestling wins, ventos. And we have a que there, so and. Tempestates sonoras. A tempestas is a storm, and sonoras means like loud. Okay, I'm going to have to stop here because someone's at my door.